All right, folks. All right, so now I want to take a moment to talk about yesterday's show, Unbreakable Investor, the quiz show edition. You know, on Making Money, we like to experiment, right? The goal, of course, is to bring more people into the stock market. And it's days like today's session that will really, you'll see this on the local news, right? If the market's down 2%, it's going to be the first thing on the local news. Those quiet sessions when the market just kind of moves higher and higher, it never makes headlines, right? And I get it. Listen, traffic doesn't slow down to admire how smooth the other lanes are moving. So we try things on this show, and admittedly, sometimes they don't always go, you know, like yesterday, a few people weren't too happy with the astrology part of the segment, but it was part of the overall messaging, right? Putting the dots together, because the B block, for instance, it was a great hit. I mean, I keep hearing from people, they loved it, particularly that last chart that was there. This chart, looking at the little red slivers versus the big blue, big parts, right? Is it worth being in this market long term, even for the periodic crashes? And the answer is obviously yes. And then there was the quiz show part of it. It was an absolute blast. And one of the questions was immediately relevant this morning. Royal Caribbean posted strong earnings. And listen, look at this. Even though the market's getting hammered, guess what one of the big winners of today is? Royal Caribbean. So what's really gratifying, though, I got to be honest with you, has been some of the responses from folks out there. Many who've never invested in the market before, some who are in the market. I got an email from one of my subscribers that was particularly moving. Now, the subject line read, "A million thanks," actually a lot more than that. Tom went on to write, "Charles and team, today as I watched your show, it reminded me how much you really care about individual investors. I'm sure you get a lot of thanks, but I wanted to take the time to say thank you and explain a little of what happened to me. I'm probably more fortunate than most of your clients, but I feel a deep sense of gratitude to you and your service. I know everyone must be working tremendously hard. I find what you do very stressful." The email went on and on and on from there. It was so beautiful. And I have to say that, you know, this is why I've committed almost 4 decades of my life to this effort. So Tom and everyone else out there, I want to say thank you. It really is an amazing thing. And again, for anyone who missed the show and are really interested in learning a lot more, at least about my approach to the stock market, you can go to unbreakableinvestor.com. Go there. The book is free. Shipping and handling you have to take care of. But you heard what Dan said, a professional hedge fund manager, folks. You got to use the parts when you naturally may want to bail, that your gut is turning. Those, ironically enough, historically have been the most amazing times to buy stocks. Now, if you're not going to be that cool, like, you know, Paul Newman, at the very least, don't be victim to it.